Hola people, welcome back to my channel, you beautiful, loyal, three creatures, you. But for the ones that are new here, and most like you are, hi, my name is Monica, but you can call me Moni or even Miss Aborted because this mess over here has survived an abortion. But I will tell you about it in another video because today we are here to create this look using a kind of an old palette that was a collaboration with Colourpop and NBA. This is the Lakers one, as you can see, and many people that were talking about the new releases at that time were not really excited about this collaboration, but I was definitely excited. Yeah, I'm even wearing my Lakers hoodie, and many people were wondering what was the reason for this kind of collaboration. But if you ask me, this was definitely something that I am glad to have in my collection. The full eyeshadow palette, of course, is inspired by Lakers as a team, and on the back you can see the names of the eyeshadows. In each eyeshadow is names for a specific moment from the team, or some interesting show, or even some kind of a game that the players were playing. So unless you are a fan, you will not understand what these stand for, except maybe for MVP. So some of it, for example, is like 81 points. Those are the points that Kobe scored the most in one game. 0.4 is another shade that is named for the 0.4 seconds before the game ended. This was somewhere in 2004, as I remember, because I asked my boyfriend and he gave me some of the details, because I remember the game but I didn't remember the details of it. So in the last 0.4 seconds, Kobe Bryant scored, and Lakers won that match, which was crazy. These kind of palettes are not everyone's cup of tea, but it's for sure a palette that is for people like me that get excited about going to different kind of events, or getting ready to watch an NBA game. Sometimes you want a match for the occasion, even if you're sitting at home watching it through your TV. I mean, whatever makes you happy, right? And I also didn't see many people reviewing this palette, so I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna do a video about it. I already have it, so why not? This is such a cute and affordable palette for a fan like me. So what we're gonna do in this video is I'm gonna show you the palette, we're gonna swatch it, and then I'm gonna create this look. And at last, I'm gonna quickly give you my honest opinion on it, even though, as you can see from my behavior, I am kind of, spoiler alert, loving it. So let's get at it. As usual, I'm doing a voiceover in order to make this video as short as possible. On a thin liner brush from Real Techniques, I'm applying the darkest purple, or the darkest shade, in this eyeshadow palette in the shape that I wanted to. Then I'm taking a little bit fluffier and denser brush from Eco Tools, and I am starting to blend and place more of that purple shadow. Now, the tricky thing with this eyeshadow palette is that there is no like middle tone in order to blend out the eyeshadow, so you have to do it with the yellows, or just to blend with the same purple. So in this case, I'm using the middle yellow, or more like mustard yellow shade, and I'm gently blending only the edges of the purple, because if you blend too much towards the purple, you can actually create a brown shade instead of a purple one. So I'm trying to only blend in the edges, and I'm doing this with a pencil brush. Then I'm taking the lightest yellow from the eyeshadow palette, that is like true yellow, B yellow, and I'm blending the edges as close to the brow bone as possible. I'm just leaving a slight space. Then I'm going in between the colors to intensify and make sure that everything is the way I want it to be from the colors. And at last, I am taking, when I said last, I don't mean really at last, but I'm taking a flat Real Techniques brush, and I'm using a concealer to make the line as crisp and clear as possible. I'm using the yellow shimmer from the middle of the eyeshadow palette. Sorry guys, I don't remember all of their names. I mean, I remember the names, but I don't remember which eyeshadow has that name, if that makes any sense. So I am applying into this line, and again I'm gonna take the same flat brush that I used the concealer with to also clear and clean the underneath area. And again, I'm taking that liner brush and I'm applying the purple in the area underneath where the purple shade is above that cutting line or whatever. So this shape, as you can see, I'm creating a kind of a thick liner. And I'm applying a lot of that purple shade. I'm just slightly blending the edges because I know that I'm gonna follow the same steps like I did in the above area, and then use the mustard and the light yellow in order to blend the colors underneath. Now I am taking more of that purple shade. For this look, I didn't use that many brushes, which is pretty good. And I'm trying to place it as high as to make that illusion that is in the same height with that underbrow area there. And I wish now when I'm looking at it, I wish that I went a little bit higher with that purple to make it more in a cat eye shape. Then again, I'm blending it out with both of the yellows. I'm going back and forth, and at last I am again using the same technique to cut my crease. Now I'm applying the same shimmer all over my lid, and I don't know why I'm using this tiny little pencil brush. Then I'm taking a little bit of the purple, trying to blending the colors, then a little bit of the mustard shade, and a bit of that bright yellow shade. I'm going back and forth between the colors in order to blend them as perfectly as possible. And I like this blend a lot more than the ones that are in the edges of this look. Maybe that shimmer is contributing to the blend. I'm applying a bit of a glitter primer on the middle portion here and also the top area of the cut crease, and I'm gonna cheat a bit and I'm gonna use the glitter from the Aha Honey because this eyeshadow palette doesn't offer any glitter in order to make this look even more interesting. And even though on camera you cannot see it that clearly, in person it gave a lot of jazz to the look. The under eye area, it's gonna be pretty simple, the darkest eyeshadow, then blending it out with the same colors like we blended out the rest of the matte shades. I'm putting a little bit of mascara, some falsies, and voila, we are done. Before we end this video, let's quickly summarize this eyeshadow palette. Let's talk about the packaging first. And for the packaging, I would give this palette 10 out of 10 because it's pretty reminiscent to all the colors and the logos of the team. And as well, I like this 3D basketball here. When you touch it, it has that texture that is similar to a real basketball. Now let's talk about the pricing of this eyeshadow palette. For 5 mattes and 4 shimmers, you're paying a little bit more than a regular 9-pan eyeshadow palette from Colourpop because still this is a collaboration, but even so it's pretty affordable. So I will give this palette 9 out of 10 for pricing because again, it is affordable and you're getting pretty good quality of eyeshadow. As you can see, this palette is mostly purple and yellow because those are the two colors of the theme, actually purple and golden. We also have a brown shade over here, and we also have a pretty light base shade to set your eye maybe, or brighten up your inner corner if you want to, because it's pretty bright. When I was swatching them, they didn't swatch pretty good, but actually they are pretty good when you're playing with them. As you can see, they're blending pretty easily, even though yellow and purple are not colors that are blending easily. That's why it took me a little bit longer than regularly. If there was a middle purple, like a little bit lighter than this one, instead of two purple shimmers, it would have been better. I would also prefer to have one glitter shade instead of two pretty similar of golden and champagne colors, because for this kind of events you want to have some glitters on your eyes if you want to risk blinding your eyes. I had to dip in a different palette from Colourpop in order to add some glitters on my eyes. So for versatility, I will give this eyeshadow palette 4 out of 10 because you can create purple, yellow looks, and maybe a neutral look using these two shades over here. So let's see, 4.5 out of 10. For the quality, I would say that these eyeshadows are pretty good, pretty consistent with the Colourpop quality. And as I mentioned before, purples and yellows, they don't usually blend pretty well, but I think considering those colors, okay, don't look here because I didn't spend so much time here. I was trying to save some time, but you can see over here, like the blending, it's kind of decent, even though I don't have that middle purple shade in between. The shimmers are performing well, the mattes were blending well, the longevity is pretty good. I think these shades, they're gonna stay in my eyes, but we're gonna see about that. It's a pigment. It says that shade, the darkest purple, it's the name is Legend, and it says that it's not intended to be used on the eyes because it's a pressed pigment, which most likely means that it's gonna stain my eyes, but of course I'm gonna use it on my eyes because this is the darkest color. So for quality, I would give this eyeshadow palette 8 out of 10 because they are performing great, but they're nothing out of the ordinary when it comes to the shimmers. I preferred a little bit more of a bang. And with that, that's it guys. I hope that you got something out of this video, that you were at least entertained, or maybe you were inspired to create this kind of look when you have the time to spend maybe 2 to 3 hours on creating a makeup look, or in the least maybe you got some information out of this. So if this video managed to do any of that, like and subscribe. It is for free, and you will see more of this mess over here. Until next time, toodaloo. Hello bird, can you please